Mike's Daily Podcast.
Howdy, everybody. It's been a while since I did a podcast. Yep.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I tried to do one, but stuff got in the way. My work is really taking a bunch of my time. It's really silly. I wish I could spend more time on this podcast, but that's not my life right now. What a song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's episode 2311, 2311. I think the last show we did was on Sunday. Yikes.
Mike's
I missed the whole week.
Daily
This is not a daily podcast. If I am forced to not do it some days of the week. Yikes. Sorry, everybody. But, I really wanted to do one this week, but there was this little thing called I have told people I'm going to visit them. And I have put it off. And then again this week, stuff was coming up saying, you got to put it off. And I said, enough. You have to put your foot down and you got to take the opportunity while you see a chance. So I said, y'all, I have dug you out of holes before, and now you're going to repay me by letting me go on my little trip. And I'm going to just shut you all down. You got to deal with it. So I'm out. Gone. Coming up in about 2 weeks. I'm going to be gone for a week. So no Mike's Daily Podcast for a week. Then I'll really be off for a week because I got to go see Mom. Haven't seen her in 3 years. So I've been missing her. I'm going to bring my lovely lady friend. She's going to get to meet her. So that means Florida. I'm going to visit 2 of the heavy COVID states, Florida and Texas. But y'all going to have to deal with it. In Texas, I'm going to go to Dallas and see some of my lovely lady friend's cousins.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And I'm so looking forward to that. I think I will post a podcast picture from the lovely state of Florida when I visited. It's been 3 years now. So let's go back to 2018 and you'll see a podcast picture from then. How about that? When I visited. So see it at mikesdailypodcast.com. Also go to mikesdailypodcast.com because tomorrow morning you will hear me actually from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. Oh, Basil the Boxer, he never got to go to Florida. I know. I'm sorry, Basil. It just would have been an awful trip for you to be put on a plane and then fly all the way to Florida and then and then have to go back. And so the late great Basil the Boxer. Okay. Cafe anyway. I'll post a podcast picture. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to be on the radio playing the classic hits ad. You can listen to the link at mikesdailypodcast.com. That's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow Pacific time. So, Cafe So, I have to tell you that I heard an interesting theory today about, how you're supposed to, what's the thing? You're supposed to be cautious, but certain, but cautious, but something like that. I can't remember the saying. Something about practice. Be careful with what you do. Move carefully. I don't know what the heck. Practice caution. You get the idea. Okay, but I heard from someone today just sort of offhandedly say something like, well, you know what though? A lot of stuff in life you have to grab with a little bit of certainty. But, just enough, because if you wait and take all that time for research, you may miss that opportunity. If you just grab it too fast, you may miss it. Also, there's so much. When a week goes by and I don't talk to you, there's just so much, isn't there? I heard a pastor pastor spoke about how people had regrets. We all have regrets, right? Some too much to mention, whatever Frank Sinatra said. Here's the thing. There was a lady who wrote down the top regrets that she heard from people that she was caring for who were at the end of life. She worked at some sort of hospice, and she kept like the top 5 biggest regrets that people had. And the one that stuck out in my mind was the regret that people had that they were living their lives trying to be what other people wanted them to be instead of being what they were. True to themselves, to thine own self be true, that whole thing. And it's true. And then a lot of people, there was a similar theme about how people didn't go and do the thing, the job that they really enjoyed doing. That they didn't pursue that. Instead, they pursued something else because their parents or somebody else made them. Maybe they wanted to learn how to play the piano or the keyboard or the guitar or whatever. Yes, that's what we regret the most as we're about to head out of this world. Isn't that interesting? I think we can prepare for that to some extent. You're never, ever really going to know what you're going to be thinking that last moment you're alive on this planet. What you regret, what you wish you would have done differently, whatever. Cafe, whatever. But I think you do have to thine own self be true. It's Shakespeare, right? You have to have some of that to realize what it is. You have to search your soul. You have to do some searching. I don't know if you need to take a whole year off from college to do it. That gap year or whatever to find it. But I think at some point you have to listen and you go, maybe this is my calling. Maybe this is what I need to do. And see. I left radio for a while and I jumped into podcasting. But as I stayed out of radio for a while, I could feel it pulling me back. Like the Godfather 3, right? He says something like, they're pulling me back. But I felt, I think that's calling me because it called me into it in the first place. I was into radio, got into radio just out of high school. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we were bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastrovalleyton, the last place on earth. And then I was out of it. And I thought, I'll do something else, something creative, but it'll be more lucrative and it'll be more You know what, though? You have to find that thing that you don't mind doing every day, day in and day out. And yes, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I had to cancel that because of my job, because I'm in radio. I'm on call with my job, my full-time job, which is in radio. I'm on call. And what that means is if the radio station goes off the air, I got to fix it. I got to go there and fix it. Well, I don't know, but I'm not an engineer, so I can't fix it. Like I can't figure out, what wires need to be, whatever. But I can fix certain things I can fix. My point is that I'm on call, and when it's off the air, I got to find out what's going on and troubleshoot. Yet, I'm going to be gone for a week. Someone else is going to have to do that. And I know when I'm back a week afterwards, I will be chomping at the bit to be thrown back into that. I'll be interested again. So it's all that kind of thing, trying to find it, what it is that makes you happy. Does wearing pants, high-rise pants, high-rise jeans, mommy jeans, is that what makes you happy? Was there the low-rise jeans? Was that? So I've been alive long enough to have seen the pants, the mommy pants that everybody was wearing, so much so that Saturday Night Live back in the 90s made fun of the mommy pants, the mommy jeans. There was like a commercial for that with Victoria Jackson and Nora Dunn, and they're wearing their mommy jeans, and it's up to their belly buttons. And then it was low-rise jeans, right? So women were wearing jeans that were so low. You were often seeing parts of the rump because they were so low. That happened just watch any Britney Spears video from that era. Late 90s, early O's, Christina Aguilera, the pants got lower and lower and lower. Then, Shakira. Then, now, they're up to the neck. The pants are so high up. I'm amazed. So there you go. At one point, we were all concerned about the knee. Ooh, I can actually see the knee way back. And it always has to do, why do women? Why does it all have to do with the women? Guys, it's like I do remember a time in the 80s when our running shorts were pretty high up for men. The gym shorts they gave us, wow. They were practically Speedos. Then, I think now, I forget when this all changed, but I know men's cargo shorts have been pretty long down to the knee and have stayed around that area. But yes, and then, men had skinny jeans for a while. I guess that's still a thing, but my point being, that's crazy. Hey, Costco, where I have bought clothes, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Because heck, I mean, like $10 for a pair of jeans. Wow. I've seen that before. They are limiting how much you can buy. Okay, here it goes. They've done it. Limit 5 for customers. The key items, which Yahoo Life wrote, so you know they're going to make you search. They're not going to tell you in the first paragraph. They're going to make you scroll all the way down to the bottom to find out what it is. And let's see. A handful of reasons. What are the products? Here we go. All right. The CFO said the company would be putting some limitations on key items. Here they are. Toilet paper. All right. We've seen that before. That happened a little over a year and a half ago. Paper towels. Their water. Cleaning supplies that are currently in high demand. The limit on purchases of these popular goods comes in the wake of shortages and the Delta variant surge, which has made customers concerned about running out of essentials. Aw, man. And wouldn't you know it, I think I need to see. I have to go get some toilet paper. But that was crazy. Remember that a year and a half ago when we went all nuts over toilet paper? There's a handful of reasons Costco cited for limiting the sales of these products. The factors pressuring supply chain and inflation include port delays, container shortages, COVID disruptions, shortages on various components, raw materials and ingredients, labor cost pressures, and truck and driver shortages. Various major brands are requesting longer lead times and in some cases difficulty in finding drivers and trucks on short notice. I bet if I were to go to Costco today, there'd probably be a line. And we'll probably hear about that tomorrow. Even when you're able to find and purchase the products you want, they're likely to be a bit more expensive than usual. The rise in prices is a result of a lack of raw materials, the shipping crisis, and high demand. There have been notable price increases across a variety of goods, including pulp and paper products, with some marked up by 8%. Plastic items have also been a spike in some prices, some as high as 11%. So, let's say you're interested in breathing better air. Just changing topics rather dramatically here, because I know you've been concerned with the air. If you live in the Bay Area, I'm looking out the window. Well, actually, I'm outside, aren't I? I'm looking up into the sky because I'm outside, and I see there's some haze and smoke above me here in Podcastro Valley 10. And I'm wondering, where is the good air? Hawaii. That's the best air. Hawaii, in the United States anyway. Hawaii has an air quality index of 21.2, which is the cleanest average air in the U.S. Honolulu is one of 6 cities in the U.S. ranked on all 3 of the American Lung Association's cleanest cities list. This includes ozone, year-round particle pollution, and short-term particle pollution. The largest threats to air quality in Hawaii are volcanic activity and climate change. The second best air quality state is Alaska. Their air quality index is 29.1, the second best index in the U.S. Alaskans living in Anchorage or Matsuboro will experience particle pollution problems due to wood burning because people are heating with wood burning. Both of these areas, however, have seen improvements in air quality in recent years. So they got good air there. And then the third and fourth would be Washington and Oregon, respectively. Washington State's air quality has both some of the cleanest and some of the most polluted air. Interesting. Most areas in Washington remain in the good range, sometimes reach into the moderate range. 100% of the state's population lives in communities that meet the state and federal air quality standard. The main source of pollution, though, in Washington are motor vehicles, wood smoke, and wildfire burning. And then Oregon, 2 ballot measures are being pushed in Oregon. 100% clean economy and 100% clean electricity. These measures will push Oregon to be a 100% clean economy by 2050. And then, let's look at the 6th one. That would be Maine. Oh, wait, I think I meant the 5th. Maine saw a large improvement in air quality from 2018 to 2019. However, some residents live in areas where the air is unhealthy due to emissions from power plants. Bangor, Maine is one of 6 cities in the U.S. ranked on all 3 of the American Lung Association's cleanest cities list. Let's just really quickly find out the state with the worst air quality. Utah is the state with the worst air quality on average. One of the reasons for their air quality being so bad is its mountainous topography, which can cause pollution to build up near the surface. Utah has been actively taking steps to improve air quality. Hey, where did I get this information? worldpopulationreview.com. Yes, there is such a website called worldpopulationreview.com. And finally, do you have guests that come over and you serve them like dinner or some kind of plate and they don't finish it? Does that upset you? Well, in the U.S., I guess it's kind of okay to leave food on your plate. How many times you've gone to a restaurant, you walk past the table when you're leaving, and someone has left like a whole freaking plate of food? Why? Well, here's the countries you don't want to leave food on your plate. India. India is a country that says if you have to finish everything, it's considered respect for the served food if you finish all the food on your plate. Food in India is considered sacred. In South India, food can be served on a banana leaf. It is polite to fold your leaf over the top, not the bottom, because that indicates you are not satisfied. Japan. It is rude to leave food on your plate, whether at home or at a restaurant. It's related to one of the most fundamental concepts in Japanese culture called motatane. Motane, there we go, which is a feeling of regret at having wasted something. In China, leaving behind an empty plate is a sign to the host that you're still hungry. If you don't want to eat more food, consider leaving a little behind to let the host know you've had enough. Ethiopians don't even bother with plates. Individual plates are considered wasteful. Folks share meals off of one big communal plate and generally eat with their hands using injera, which is a type of flatbread to pick up the food. I think I've had that. It's kind of spongy. So don't even think about asking for your own plate. This is from the website HuffPost. I was huffing some HuffPost. No, that doesn't sound right. Hey, we're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro, Valentino, the last place on earth. Look who's here. Hello, my commercial. It's Madame Rootabega, and I have been to Ethiopia. Ooh. Wow, I think you've been everywhere. Have you been everywhere? Yes. Have you been all over the universe? Yes. Have you been to Costco? No. Well, good thing, because if you went there today, it'd probably be a bunch of lines and crazy. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, I hear that people don't know what I say when I say that I'm the parking attendant.
Yeah, people don't know what he sees. Do you know that? And I hear they don't know what you're saying either, Bison. Yeah, they don't know what I'm saying. Yes, so just to be clear, Valentino is saying he is the parking attendant because he watches the parking lot and he helps some people park the cars. He is like a valet. That's his name, Valentino. They got a little house, a little shack thing they sit in. I haven't been in it, but it looks like they have a good time in there. And then there's Bison Bentley, and he is always asking, do you know that? But because he says it so fast, it sounds like, do you know that? And we used to have a segment on the show called
It's Bison Bentley's. Do you know that?
Hey, this is Bison Bentley, and Mike Matthews has a couple of stories that'll make you want to ask yourself, do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that? Where I would say interesting facts, but now I just always say interesting facts on the podcast, so I don't need him to say that at the beginning of this podcast, as you understand. So, last question that I have for you is this. Where did the being a Karen thing come from? How did Karens get such a bad rap? Are they always wearing the high-rise jeans? Karen is a pejorative slang term for an obnoxious, angry, entitled, and often racist middle-aged white woman who uses her privilege to get her way or police other people's behaviors. Interesting. As featured in memes, Karen is generally stereotyped as having a blonde bob haircut, not just blonde hair, but a blonde bob haircut, asking to speak to retail and restaurant managers to voice complaints or make demands. Ooh, and she's also apparently anti-vax and a Generation X soccer mom. So someone that I went to high school with who's a soccer mom. In 2020, Karen spread as a label used to call out white women who were captured in viral videos engaging in what are widely seen as racist rants. Where does it... So it joins a trend on the internet in the 2010s of being a first name to make fun of certain types of people. A Becky, for example, is a stereotype for a basic younger white woman, while a Chad in other corners of the internet stands for a cocky young dude bro. And I I work with a guy named Chad, and he completely embraces that. I don't know if he does it jokingly, but he always says, "What's up, bro Haim?" Yes. So he's being a Chad. But why the name Karen? Karen has widely been credited to, in the 2010s, comes from Oh, a Dane Cook reference. A bit he did called The Friend Nobody Likes. An additional explanation is that it comes from the character Karen in Mean Girls, the movie, who's the subject of a popular quote, "Oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask someone why they're white." It's even been put forth that Karen comes from the even earlier 1990 film Goodfellas, where one of the characters was named Karen. It's popularly thought of as a generic seeming name for a middle-aged white woman of a certain generation. It was the most popular name for newborn girls in the 1960s, peaking at number 3 in 65, so you would have a lot of late baby boomers, early Gen Xers as being named Karen. And this came from the dictionary. Is that even I made a new word, dictionary. The dictionary.com website had that information. So, yes. And by the way, if you are named... Wait, if you're named what?
Corinne.
That sounds like Corinne. Okay. Well, if you are named Corinne, sorry if that offended you. But there are lots of famous Karens in the world. There's Karen Gilliam, who was, Nebula in the Avengers movies and Guardians of the Galaxy things, and, of course, Doctor Who. And that's the end of my podcast. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed the podcast, why don't you tell your friends? Because you've got a lot of friends. Even if your name is Karen, I'm sure you got a lot of friends. Because I knew someone in school as a kid who was so awesome, and I don't know whatever became of her. Her name was Karen Machikian. She was so cool. I really liked her. I hope she's still alive and she's having a great life, because she was very cool to me. Okay, so there you go. Karens. If you'd like to join in, call in. Let me know what you think of what we covered today. Or if you'd like to comment, we love your emails and your calm and not so comments. You can call me at 336-MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast will try to be. But, I got interrupted for like 5 days in a row. Hopefully that won't happen again. But 336-MM Daily. Go to mikesdailypodcast.com. And you can click on that link tomorrow morning between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to listen to the radio show that I'm doing. There's a link there. And with more, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!